So the OHL trade deadline has come and gone.
And Rosie, it was really kind of a quiet day, to be perfectly honest. Not too many big moves, but maybe one of the biggest today was the Peterborough Petes trading their captain, a 10th overall NHL draft pick, Slater Cuckoo, to the Windsor Spitfires in exchange for a player and two second-round draft picks, which means Cuckoo was not in the lineup tonight as the Kitchener Rangers came to town looking to build off an offensive win against the Storm earlier this week. John Gibson's still not in the lineup tonight, so the starting job remains with Joel Vienu. More on that later. But to the game, Nick Cinder was traded to the Petes earlier this week. He's out in front and makes his former team pay, giving the Petes a 2-0 lead in the first. Jump to the third now. Rangers within one and just coming off a power play. Puck to the point. Evan McEnany puts eyes on this one. He ties the game at 2, sends it to overtime, but that solves nothing. So to the shootout. No one scores until the fourth round. Jonathan Tanis gives the Petes the lead for this.
And how about this? Derek Schoenmakers, a player that would not report to the Peterborough Petes. Talk about pressure.
I think the fans don't like this at all.
Schoenmakers. Here he goes. Big stop again. D'Agostini stopping Derek Schoenmakers.
And with that, the Petes pick up the 3-2 shootout win and have points now in 4 straight games. Cuckoo's new team, Windsor, hosting Brampton, pick it up in the second. Spitfires ahead 1-0. Off the lost draw, keeper makes the first save, but then Emerson Clark is allowed to walk out front. He makes it 2-0. Spitz power play now. Shaw takes a big bounce off the end board. Several guys get a whack at it before Ben Johnson finally puts it home. Cuckoo remains scoreless in his debut with the new squad, but they get the win 3-0 the final. Yaroslav Palaka had 38 saves for the shutout. Owen Sound made a move at the deadline. Details in a second, but tonight in Niagara, ahead by a goal. They lost last night by giving up a power play marker in the final minute. This one, at least, was with 3 minutes left. That means it's a tie game, so we're going to another shootout. Overtime proving nothing here either. Newly acquired Cody Ceci given a chance here, but he can't beat the poke check. This game also needed extra rounds, and it comes down to Ben Hughes and Jordan Binnington. The amazing fake. Binnington bites. Ice Dogs take it 3-2 in the shootout. Here are the details of the Owen Sound trade. Jake Dochin heads to Barrie for 4 picks. The 18-year-old defenseman is from Glen Morris. John Gibson is one of 4 Kitchener Rangers off to NHL training camps. Head coach and general manager Steve Spott confirmed his starting goaltender will leave this weekend for Anaheim to skate with the Ducks. Coming off an MVP honors at the World Junior Championships, he's considered a key component to the Rangers' goal of making a push in the playoffs. Also heading to NHL camps, captain Ryan Murphy, forward Radek Faksa, and recently acquired defenseman Frank Corrado, who was brought in partially to fill a void if Murphy doesn't return from Carolina. The Guelph Storm weren't the busiest team this week, but general manager Mike Kelly did make a few acquisitions heading into the OHL trade deadline, bringing in 2 players with a wealth of CHL experience. Kelly says he's happy with the current roster and he didn't want to make too many trades, giving up prospects he expects will mature in the coming years. However, he did trade for overager defenseman Severo Posa, who wore the C in Windsor this season while accumulating 10 assists. Head coach Scott Walker says Posa's experience will be a benefit for his team.
He won the Memorial Cup. He's got lots of experience. Was a captain in Windsor, and I know Warren Reichel, and I play with Bob Bugner, so I know they don't take that leadership role lightly. So he obviously had to be a character kid and a great leader. So I've met him and thrilled to death with him so far. You know, he was so excited to come here. A real super kid.
I'm an overage in the league, so I mean I've played my fair share of games in the league. So you know, it's a younger team, but they're a team that competes. So hopefully I can help lead them to you know, a good playoff run.
The Storm also signed goaltender Michael Nishi after he was released by Gatineau in the QMJHL. The 19-year-old has also played with Windsor, Sault Ste. Marie, and Ottawa. Nishi will back up Garrett Sparks, a role he says he's ready to fill.
Wherever I can bring to help the team would be great. Whether it's experience or just to compete with Garrett Sparks, everything would be beneficial.
GOHL Western Conference tonight, Sarnia with a big 10-0 win over St. Thomas Stars, and Leamington sneaks by Strathroy 4-3 in overtime. Kitchener alpine skier Kelly Vanderbeek has a news conference scheduled Saturday morning at Chicopee Ski Club. However, when asked for more information, Vanderbeek simply said she doesn't want to give away the secret. Vanderbeek finished 4th in the Super G event at the 2006 Winter Olympics, just missing the podium. 4 years later, she crashed during a training run at a World Cup event and underwent knee surgery 3 years ago. She returned to competition just over a year ago, though she was unable to crack the top 30 in World Cup races. Back to the rink now. Ridgebacks at Golden Hawks in OUA action. It's in the second, all tied up at 2. Greg Sorelli gets behind the defenseman. Hawks retaking the lead, and add to it here on the strength of Ben Skinner. No one's stopping him on that play. He makes it 4-2 Laurier. UOIT, though, will pull within 1, and we're still in the second. Mitchell Good down the wing. Initial chances stopped, but the Ridgebacks leave Zach Wolford all alone. That will be enough. Golden Hawks win 6-4, the final. Former University of Waterloo football head coach Dennis McPhee is returning to Hamilton Tiger Cats for his 3rd term with the CFL team. He will be Kent Austin's defensive line coach this season as the Tabbies play their home games at the University of Guelph. McPhee first coached in Hamilton in 1995 and was the head coach of Waterloo's program from 2007 to 2011. Last year, he was Western's defensive coordinator.
Celtics on 3. 1, 2, 3, Celtics. 1, 2, 3, Celtics.
District 10 senior boys basketball, as you heard, Bishop MacDonnell Celtics visiting Our Lady of Lourdes Crusaders late in the first. The Celtics pushing Mitchell Wood, picking up 2 of his game-high 29 here on this drive. Nice play. Then fast-paced end-to-end action. Kevin Roche feeds Evan McLaughlin. Home side not going down without a fight here, though. Andrew Chapman with the pick, then gets the position for the pass. He's fired up. Finishes the game with 8 points, but the Celtics were just too much. Jesse Kendall, 3 of his 15 on this play. BMAC wins 76-48. And finally, the PGA's Sony Open from Hawaii. Brantford's David Hearn is tied for 16th at -3. He's 5 shots off the leader, who is Scott Langley. And that's it for sports. Rosie is back with Wake Up Weather after the break.